Good evening. Impromptu live stream from the Expo-ish. We've got that going on. Eric Sanderson Door, he's a man of lawn care. He's got that subheading going. And I'd say I'm in the darkness, although the camera here is making up for it. But basically, I'm in the darkness because there's basically one light. The light behind me is very good, but the light in front of me where the desk is not so great. So I might as well be in the darkness. I'm half in the darkness and half in the light.
I'm always in the dark.
You are. Good evening, David G. Thank you. Happy Expo. Appreciate that. So yeah, I thought I'd do a little impromptu. We were actually at dinner a little earlier, and the question was like, "Are you going to do it?" It's like, "Oh, well, yeah, I usually will do something. I try to if it allows me to." But now working under these conditions, microphone is here, but it doesn't work. StreamYard doesn't want to acknowledge it. Apparently, it's not here. It's just disconnected. This
It's in your
headset has a
imagination.
microphone. Yeah, this headset has a microphone. Apparently, I can't acknowledge that either. So I'm using the iMac microphone here, my laptop. I can hear you guys through this, but other than that, yeah, none of the rest of it works. Other than that, we're good, and the lighting is great.
I'm just using my phone. I'm pulling the Bobby and the Garage of Knowledge type setup.
Yeah, pretty much. Well, as long as it sounds all right, Carlo. So I appreciate that. So it also probably helps that kind of lean back a little bit. It's like not yelling into it. So we'll just let the microphone do its job. So I will say I wanted to do a little live. So if you guys have any quick questions or anything, bring them up right away because then we can at least talk through them. I'll tell you guys a little bit of the lay of the land the first couple of days. So obviously I have a different approach to it than most, but things have gone mostly according to plan. Not a ton of pickups. I again because of the lighting as well. The video I'll try to see if I can do a video with the pickups and show them a little bit better. But like I said, the lighting's been atrocious. I can't even take the picture for the Instagram. It's pretty bad. So let's take a look here. So Jeff here says, "Hello guys, hope you're having a good expo. So far so good. Air from a hotel room full of suckiness." There you go, the technical term.
Yeah, I knew I should have poisoned his food at dinner.
It's a shame. Terrible. Here you go. I like this one. How's the show for pre-war baseball? Actually, not too bad. There are definitely some dealers who specialize in it for sure. I will say there were a few that I did see a little bit. I saw like the silks. I forget what the numbering is on that. I saw the silks. I saw some strip cards. I definitely saw some caramel, and there was a little decent mix, mind you. It is limited to a very small subset of dealers. Most of them are pretty much dealing in modern, although there is a few dealers that will deal in the mix. And of course, it's going to be hockey heavy. If you're going to have vintage for the most part, it's going to be predominantly hockey. But there
Oh
are
yeah.
definitely some guys who do have pre-war baseball. Yes. There you go. Kathy Wade. Hi, Eric. Remember me? Look at that.
Hey Mom, I hope everything's well. I hope Sam's coming over and doing your to-do list, and hope everything's going well. I'll try to check in with you tomorrow. Love
There you
you.
go. So, Carla here. Quick question. Where the hell have you been the last 2.5 hours? Dinner, man. Dinner. We actually did leave a little bit early today so that we could but yeah, we were having dinner. It took a little while to do that. And I have video footage that I will share at a later time. And I've got that footage, but we will share. So at dinner, let me actually get into the story now. I want to talk about the rest of the expo, but Eric
Well,
got the greatest card
no, I
in the
didn't.
hobby, a grail of grails. And I will tell you all how it came to pass. But Eric, show the people.
I don't want
What
them.
wonderful, wonderful gift did you receive at dinner?
I don't want them.
Oh, I think you do.
I
Best
don't
card in your
want them.
collection. Completely takes your collection to a new stratosphere. A true grail in the hobby. Look at it. Yes. What is it, Eric? What is that card?
I don't know.
Oh, I think you do.
It's 1977, 78 Bobby Orr O-Pee-Chee card.
That's right. The second year Bobby Orr card of the Chicago Blackhawks. His second year in the NHL. In a KSA 6. Oh my God. Amazing. Amazing. Is Heritage there? Because the case they are reactioning. So Heritage, I believe, did have a booth there. They are re-auctioning the 79 OPG box. I didn't really look into it too closely, but they did have that there. They do have the booth, I think. So Zach says, here we are. Was this a fifth at all tonight? It's all timing. We'd have to see. Drake versus Kendrick Lamar. Lots of that war baseball. There you go. Hobby champs. I just like it says you.
Yes, it was the correct reaction to this piece of
No,
garbage.
that was before you showed the card. That was in reference to you.
Oh, I could understand that also.
Yes. Number one card in the hobby. That's right.
All right, hold
Absolutely.
on. Go back to go back. What was hold on. I got it. Hold on just a second.
Oh my God, he's got a reference. Here we go. Carl, you see? You brought this up. Now he's got a reference. I'm gonna finish drinking this Coke because now if he's gonna start bringing cards, I might have to get my beer. Always got something.
Carlisle, what do you think about this?
So what is it specifically? It's Atlanta Flames, obviously, but what specifically is it?
But it is a felt patch from the 70s. It is super minty, like brand spanking new. And I had to have it. It's too good. And my first thought was, all right, I have to get Reggie to sign this. But then I'm like, this thing is so nice. I don't want ink to get on it. So Atlanta Flames patch right there.
There you go.
So yeah, that was cool. I saw that. I'm like, I gotta get that. So maybe I'll put it behind some Reggie stuff that I display. But yeah, at first, like I said, I was thinking, all right, where am I going to have him autograph it? And then I'm like, no, I think it's too nice. So,
wow, there you go. Now, real quick, I didn't want to lose the opportunity to mention it. So let me give you a quick backstory to the Boobior card.
oh,
So obviously,
I changed the subject.
no, and I don't care. I ignore you changing the subject, and I bring the subject back.
Ugh.
So today was a quiet day as far as pickups are concerned. So I thought to myself, I need a little project to keep me busy. And I thought to myself, my good friend Eric,
No,
he deserves nothing more than a little memento of Boobior from the show. So I thought to myself, what can I do? And I scoured, I searched, I looked everywhere, high and low. And what I thought to myself was, I need to get one of these cards. And not only that, I need, if Eric loves nothing more than Chicago Blackhawks Bobby Orr, it is graded cards. And I thought, what better thing to do in Canada to give it that air of legitimacy than KSA?
KSA, baby.
And when I looked, and when I found that card that Eric just showed you a couple minutes ago, and I told the man, he didn't want to go down in price. But then I said to him, there's a Boston Bruins fan who we torment with Chicago Blackhawks Bobby Orr, and I'm going to take this card, and I'm going to get it graded, and I'm going to torture him with it. This stoic man laughed, and he said, yeah, for the joke, sure. Here's a discount. So he gave me the card, and I walked it right over to the KSA booth, surrounded by zero of people, walked right up there, handed it to them, and then within an hour, they texted me back, said, your card is ready, and I had the Grail of Grails in my hands. And I presented it to Eric, footage pending. Amazing. Sensational. Paul was there, Amanda was there, Bobby was there, Eric's wife was there. There wasn't a dry eye in the house. Everyone was moved.
You had to shame me in front of my wife and emasculate me.
Yes, I did.
Yeah,
absolutely, without a doubt. Boobior scored 27 points as Blackhawks hero in only 26 games. Chicago legend and icon. And think about it, Hobby Champs. His entire Hall of Fame career was based on those 26 games. He played 10 years plus in the minors, and then finally gets to the big leagues. Finally, 26 games, built a Hall of Fame resume in Chicago. Amazing. It was the OPG. It is true. Chicago March Warriors, Michael Jordan and Bobby Orr. That's right.
I don't like the direction that this chat is going in.
The direction of truth. The direction of righteousness. They appreciate it.
Oh, my good God.
But yes. But yeah, for the most part, it hasn't been. So a lot of it depends on what you're looking for. So Eric obviously was able to find a lot of stuff. but mostly that's because obviously he's looking for a lot of 70s stuff, different players that he's looking for. And once the Bobby Orr was in his hand, then he was covered from that regard. So for Grails, he was covered. Um, but I went in looking, and to be honest, most of the dealers really weren't moving too much on the sticker prices. And that's really, I think,
Oh,
where the sticking point has been for me on a lot of those. Even when I saw something interesting, there was one card that was there. It was a nice card. It was like $350 sticker, and it was a game use patch from Prime, Panini Prime. So this would have been around 2013, I believe, if memory serves me. Interesting card, but they put 350 on it. And I was trying to negotiate it down a little bit, a lot actually. But in the end, they said, "Yeah, I can do 325." And I'm sitting there like, no, I'm not paying 325 for that. Absolutely not. That's in a 6. Highest graded ever. Amazing.
hi.
Well, you can check the KSA population report if you don't believe me. I don't think they have one, but if you check it, they're probably the highest graded ever.
Holy Jesus! Yeah.
Your first step will be finding the population report, and then if you can find it, your next task is finding out how many there were.
Oh my Lord! Yeah. Right. Yeah.
Think about
It's crisp. It's crisp. It's not centered well. There you go. The three of the corners are pretty sharp. This one's a little dull. The centering's a little bit to this side. Oh yeah, and I forgot. It's a Blackhawks card.
It's amazing. That's the best part. The best part about your rundown is you spent more time evaluating the condition in that moment than I did. I would have actually preferred if it was torn in half, to be honest. I didn't really care. The point was getting the damn card holder. Carlos says, I feel like they passed out the Flames patch before a game when I was a child. Not sure what happened to mine. There you go. Should have went with BGS. So here's the thing, Hobby Champs. I did consider that, but there was one major problem to this plan. So let's all be serious here for a moment. The problem was our friends at Becca, most likely under the suggestion of Eric, they are asking for $139 for on-site grading. I'm sitting there like, no, what? Why? What kind of crack are you on?
Oh, they are
Or-
lots of crack.
Yeah, I just want to make sure I get this right because it was actually ridiculous how much it was. It was like, hold on, I will find it. And I couldn't even get my head around it. I'm sitting there like, what on earth is wrong with you guys?
And
Here
I
it
will
is.
say this, and
125 US, 125 US for on-site
So-
grading.
for a second of truth, I was surprised to actually see people over there today. Last year, we reported Beckett was mostly a ghost town with the other grading companies, complete, utter ghost town. So far this year, I actually saw people over there. Now, there's still the young girl sitting over at Mint, just looking at her phone all day. The young girl at KSA, I think, had one customer all day. A couple of the other ones, there's nobody. Nothing is happening. But there were actually people at Beckett today. I wanted to go over and say, "Are you all stupid? PSA's right there. Just turn around. They're right there. It's 20 steps that way.
Well,
Why are you at this dumpster fire of a card company? I don't
So
understand."
the reason why I wanted to give the number so we were all on the same page is that 125 US. PSA on site is $99.
Yeah.
So literally PSA is there with the village they've got going on there for $99. And Beckett is literally with a straight look on their face. They're trying to say we're going to charge 25% more.
They're just a dumpster fire, as usual.
But
there were people in line, which again, rule number 1, rule number 2. Why in the world are you jumping into a dumpster that has been filled with trash that's been set on fire? Why? Oh yeah, rule number 1 and rule number 2.
Yep. So Champ says SGC. No,
No.
SGC pretty much doesn't come here anymore. They haven't in years. They've never really got any traction. The reality was that they actually used to have a booth regularly, and they used to have submission things that they would set up with it. But they were ghost towns. They never really got much traction because really most of the folks that were doing grading, they didn't really care about SGC here. There was really no interest. So it's one of those things where there's no point in setting up. Now I think my thought for the line, I bet you that the raw card review is probably where they got a lot more, because raw card review is obviously cheaper. And then you can kind of get that taken care of in there. And if you just want to have something, then raw card review would give it to you. And again, that is cheaper. So you can have that done at the show and get your card back right away. It's not encapsulated, but it's something.
Right.
So Paul says, I know of a failed PSA to Beckett crossover fail. Our PSA 8 RPA to Beckett authentic altered. Yeah. So yesterday, pay those lawyer fees. There you go. It's probably just hoping for pristine grade. That's pretty much the only thing that would help you. You pretty much, otherwise you're basically you're literally burning the extra $25 for no reason. Like if you have a choice and you just, if your goal is to resell the card, you're literally getting the on-site grading for $26 less to go over to the PSA thing, which is just down, because all the grading companies are within eyesight of each other. They're all close by. So you can literally walk it right over from one booth to another. They're not far. Tim here has a question for you.
Oh, good Jesus Christ. When are you showing up here, dipshit? I got stuff for you.
And Tim, while you're there, make sure to take a picture with the Bobby Orr Grail. I think everyone who sees Eric should ask to take a picture with the Bobby Orr Grail. Be amazing. So real quick, anything, any other items or pickups out of the ones that you do have that you want to share? I got a couple here. I can show a couple of these. I'll try to do a video for them anyway, but I'll actually, let me show this one real quick. So this was this was the thing that was in the package. So Amanda gave me this. This is an Upper Deck authenticated 2024 calendar. So it's all the different cover athletes that they had throughout the course of the year. But the reason that I got it was the dentist on there.
Very nice.
So that's October. So every one of these, so just to show you guys, I'll grab 1 month here. So here, at the top, you've got a different athlete every month. And it's all Upper Deck authenticated stuff. So this is, I think, went to dealers. I think basically this is, so it's a bit more of a, it's out there obviously, but not commonly available out there. So here.
Well, that calendar is still good for another month and a half, and then you got to throw it away. All right, one of us is frozen. It's either him or me. All right, everybody, really take that in, that Dr. Britt Baker photo. Just take it in, because I think it's going to be on the screen for a while. Anyway, the expo is well packed today. We got there Thursday, and because of Brad hooking us up, we're able to get in before the crowd. So we were pretty much all there, except for Carlos, because he doesn't do mornings. Had the place to ourselves all day Thursday until about like 4 o'clock when they let in everybody, and that was only like a VIP night. So it was still, the place is so massive that it was still like no one was there, right? So you got the chance to look through everything, get first dibs on stuff. But at that point, dealers are like, no deals. You want to buy it for the price, great, but no deals, because Sunday's the big deal day. They're not gonna, in the 3 hours before the show even opens, aren't gonna start taking big discounts off items. So, but it's just to have the entire place to yourself is amazing. They let the VIPs in. You know, it still didn't feel like there was a lot of people. Today is, you know, Friday, so, you know, kids are still in school and things like that. But the place was very busy, loud. You know, you're bumping into people here and there. You got to take turns, you know, looking at tables that were in tight corners and things. But tomorrow, Saturday, tomorrow should be an absolute madhouse because of a couple of different things. Kids are going to be there, right? So family's going to come, and the autograph signings are going into full effect Saturday and Sunday. And I believe I talked to the guy. His name is Andre, and he's running. He's in charge of the entire autograph pavilion and everything that goes on there. And he told me that this is the largest amount of guests that they've ever had. I think the number was either 52 or 53. So it is going to be crazy the next couple of days. Thursday afternoon and today was the calm before the storm. And today was very, very busy, I felt. But Saturday and Sunday are going to be huge.
All right, I figured it out.
All right, great. So, you know, I'm looking forward to some of the autograph signings that are coming in. You know, I know some of the guys from working with them in the past. So I'm looking forward to, you know, getting a chance to just, you know, say hi real quick. You know, catch up with a couple of the athletes and see how they're doing. Matter of fact, you know, just before we started this show, we were, you know, like Carlos said, we were at dinner, and Carlos, Yannick, and Paul and Amanda, you know, called it a night and had to go back to their rooms and different hotels and all that. And Yannick had a longer drive back to his uncle's house. So they left, you know, myself and my wife and Bobby and Dave, you know, sitting around hanging out for a little bit before we were going to call it a night. And moments after they left, in the hotel restaurant that we were in walks Grant Fuhr, 5-time Stanley Cup winner, Hall of Famer. I know Grant. I've had the opportunity to go out to dinner with him a few times, to work with him. So I excused myself, said, guys, I'll be right back. And, you know, went over, had a nice chat with him, and, you know, told him that, you know, I'd see him tomorrow at the show and all that. And one of my buddies came in and, you know, saw that I was talking to somebody. So he patiently waited, you know, to get my attention. And I said goodbye to Grant, said, all right, I'll see you tomorrow. Have a good night. Enjoy your dinner. And walked away with my friend. And he's just talking to me about, you know, stuff. And I said, do you know who that was? Now, by the way, my friend's a huge hockey guy. So that's why this matters. He's a huge hockey guy. I said, do you know who that was? He turns around, looks, no, what, should I? I go, that's Grant Fuhr. And the look on his face was like, you know, sir. And he stops and he backs up a few steps, turns around, stares at him, turns around back to me, walks, and goes, yeah, that seems about right. I don't know what that meant, but that's what he said.
That's what you say when you still don't recognize him even after you said it.
Yeah, but yeah, he came over and he was standing there patiently waiting to talk to me, and had no idea who I was talking to, as a huge hockey guy. So that part I thought it was kind of humorous to me.
Mm.
But So yeah, so Grant's in town. Tim Thomas is coming this weekend. I hope I'll get a chance to say hi to him. I'm hoping to meet Frank Mahovlich, maybe get some autos from him. I already talked to Pete Mahovlich, who I've worked with in the past, and I know a little bit. He's hanging out over at Classic Auctions. So I already talked to Peter. And of course, no expo or story would be complete without me going and hanging out with Marcel.
And by hanging out, you mean evading his security?
Chasing would probably be better. Today, actually, Marcel was not at the show. He was at in St. Catharines, and he was being honored for his minor league playing days for the St. Catharines Blackhawks, and was raising a banner, from what I understand, with his number, retirement banner. So he'll be back at the show tomorrow. He was there briefly Thursday, and I spoke to him Thursday and checked in with him and everything. He was not there at all today, and he'll be there Saturday and Sunday. So I'm sure security will be on alert that I'm in the area, and I'm going to have to duck, dive, dodge, duck, so I can get my Marcel time.
I really only see one ducking before the inevitable hospital visit. One ducking.
One ducking? Okay.
Yeah. So a couple of comments here. So Paul was saying, thank goodness Carl's back. Eric's train of terror is over. Yes. And that was funny is Paul is in the same hotel as I am. And literally when that frozen thing happened, I'm literally sitting here. I can actually hear Eric for a little bit while that's happening. And it was just the hotel Wi-Fi decided just randomly to completely reset itself. So it's not like I can go do the router. I had to completely shut it down and redo it.
Right.
I actually was able to get on the phone and I could actually hear Eric talking the whole time. And I'm sitting there like, no, doesn't. So I had to completely reset the thing from my end. So anyway, you got to hear Eric's story in the meantime, I guess. So Bobby Champ says, Eric, how do you know all these hockey players? Are you like the P. Diddy of the hockey community? You have to learn all these guys or what? So funny story, Bobby Champs. So what happens is even though Eric claims to be American, allow me to share with you, as part of a Canadian protectorate state, Massachusetts, he falls under what we like to call the hockey players here have their own form of community service. Instead of 40 hours, they do 400 hours, and it's hanging out with not the less fortunate, it's hanging out with the unfortunate. And what a coincidence that we have someone that specifically qualifies under this. So why do you think these hockey players all wind up with this problem?
No, thank you.
Imagine 400 hours with the unfortunate. Poor Marcel. Poor them all.
I just assume that they all did something very, very bad in their prior lives, and this is their hell.
So what you're saying is this is not unlike why in the dinner conversation we again pointed out again with your wife there, we talked about how at a certain point, wouldn't you think that if enough people are willing to conspire to do horrible things to you, maybe it's you?
It is something I need to look at a little closer, I think, especially with this clown that's chirping me from the chat right now.
I'm just saying.
Which it's why isn't he here? Oh well, that's a story. Well, I had to travel here, and then I had to travel there, and I don't know if I'm gonna make it up there. But all right, well maybe I'll come. All right, I will come, but only for a day, and then I'm gonna do. It's like. The show is Thursday to Sunday. Get your ass up here.
Wow. Strong words. Strong words. So I will show these here just for now. And then I'll try, like I said, I'll try to do the video. So this one I actually got from Steve Angel. This one was one that was sitting at his booth. I picked that up on Thursday.
Oh, yeah.
So that's actually a pretty nice patch piece.
Yeah, I gave Steve money too. Go ahead, show that off. I'll go get mine.
Yep. So this one is the gold out of 5. So like I said, pretty much my purchases were on Thursday. That was kind of the big day. So I was able to grab 3 cards. If I could have taken a better picture, I would have thrown it on the Instagram. Second card was a Winning Materials Jersey Auto out of 25. I actually did need that one. And this last one here, Eric was actually around during this one. So I picked this one up at a I'm gonna say bargain bin, but I'm putting that in quotation marks. So Eric, you remember this one that we're talking
Yep, I
about?
do. Yep, I bought
Yeah.
something
So
from that guy at the same time, I think.
yeah. So while you were looking at that, I went through. He had different boxes. Most of
Yep.
them, several of them had single players. You had Berdure, you had a janitor guy. So you had a bunch of different folks. And then they did have a row for Medano. And as I go flipping through it, I found this as the last card in the row. Now, the thing is, the guy did mark it off. So this is the out of 10 version from this year, 0304 SPX. So this is the, I can't call it black because it's not. It's like a darker color, but regardless, it's the out of 10 parallel.
Okay.
So he marked it correctly. He said basically, $150, which is high, in my opinion, is high, but not ridiculous as a starting point. But my negotiation basically consisted of, well, what do you want to do for it? He looks at it. He goes, I can do 100. And I'm like, how about 80, 90, 85? Well, I'm gonna need 90. Okay, I'll think about it. Okay, I'll take 80.
Yeah, I was laughing my tail inside because I didn't want to screw up the negotiations. When people are dealing with money, I don't make wise comments. I don't get involved. I sit there with my mouth shut and wait patiently to see the outcome. And I'm listening to your negotiations. And I don't think you had time to take a breath after. Okay, I'll think about it. As your hand is starting to go back into the box. Okay, I'll take 80, whatever
Yeah.
it was. And it's like that works sometimes. Being willing to walk away and take your money with you, it sometimes will finalize a deal.
Yeah. Well, the reality is, it's one of those things. So I think the moral of the story is the following: some of these dealers are trying to play 4D chess when checkers would suffice.
Yeah,
It's a play on the old analogy, but it's like in this case, checkers would suffice. It's not that complicated. It's not that deep. I have money, cash money. Do you want it or not? Like it's literally in a box. It's not on your showcase. So why are you
yeah,
going to try to play silly games? It's like,
right.
look, I'm one of the few specific buyers who might be interested in this. I'm willing to give you cash. I've literally got it in my pocket, but don't play games with me. I literally would walk away for $5 because, dude, I don't need that badly. Am I
Right.
interested? Sure.
And,
That's
and
been
you
kind of the
actually
story.
said, and you actually said something about it. It's in the
I
box.
said I said it was in this box.
Yeah,
You can't-
yeah.
like
So it's like,
you put it in the
let's
box.
not. Yeah, and your message was, let's just be just realistic to what this is. It's sitting in a box right over here. Yeah, I remember you saying that. So you
Yeah.
actually made that point that obviously this isn't a $1 million card here. It's in a box that I had to thumb through to find.
Yeah.
And it's like, yeah, let's be reasonable.
Yeah, but that's why I think it's helpful that at this point I don't need more cards for that collection necessarily. I'm still out there looking, I'm still interested, but like I'm not willing to play silly games. Just if there's a deal on the table, let's make the deal happen. I'm good for it. But if you want to get cute and do all kinds of silly stuff, like okay, man, keep your card then. Like I'm not worried about it. Uh, Otherwise, I go spend the money at a different table and do something else. It's okay. But I find some of these dealers try to get too cute. It's not necessary. You can just is the price work for you or not? A couple of ones here I want to make sure I read on. So Tim is very helpful to you. I like that. Do appreciate it. But we got Dunkachino. See, Eric's broken like my Wi-Fi.
Damn.
All right. While Eric is figuring himself out, I'm gonna read Dunkachino's comment because I appreciate the angle here. No matter what side you were on, we can all agree the country is different now. And the Super Bowl when the Seahawks became unhinged and absolutely refused to run the ball. Good evening, Carlos. Thank you,
Oh my
Dunkachino.
good
Never
God.
change. Never change.
I don't know how to deal with him anymore. Oh my God. Oh.
He's your special cross and burden to bear.
Yeah, I know. Oh God, he got me with that one. I must be tired because that's too much.
Carlos says, is shoplifting as punitive in Canada? Asking for a friend. Interesting. See, Tim's all on this, man.
Oh my God. What was that last one? See the last one.
So David here's got
Oh,
a question. During the blip, I asked why so many dealers only take hard cash and no form of digital payment. When do you think that changes? So one part of it is definitely it's a tax thing.
it's
One
t-
part of it.
it's, is there really another part? I think that's
There is
pretty
there is
hard.
actually there is actually for some of the
Okay,
dealers, yeah.
so I'm
Some of
well,
them you
okay.
got to remember we
Tell me.
don't have Zelle, we don't have Venmo. So if you want to do digital, there are options, but the main option. So remember, no Zelle, no Venmo. They don't exist. That doesn't work. If you want to do digital, your options are basically PayPal and e-transfer. Now, e-transfer is great. E-transfer works because e-transfer may as well be cash. You literally get the money dropped into your bank account. But there is sometimes a short delay. So you're basically what you're doing is you're basically saying in my bank account, blah blah blah, transfer X to so and so email address or phone number or whatever. Now, some people have auto pay, so it automatically deposits. So it accepts it automatically and no problem. Puts it in the account and gives you a notification. You get an email, whatever, and it's done. But assuming your Wi-Fi and everything is working properly, or your cell service is okay, then hey, it actually works great. It may as well be cash. A lot of dealers are not comfortable handing out information to do that and send it that way. And a lot of buyers are not comfortable doing that. So it's kind of a two-way street. A lot of the buyers aren't comfortable necessarily doing it digital. And PayPal itself, okay, so you put in PayPal, friends and family or goods and services. So you're not, goods and services has certain protections, but also has limitations. Friends and family might be okay as long as you don't take too many, in which case PayPal can suspend your account. So you got to be real careful how you want to play that. So yes, taxes is a thing, but the digital options are not as easy.
Yeah.
We actually have less digital options, even if you want to take it. So for a lot of the dealers, they're like, look, cash. And for some of the dealers, they're like, look, we'll take card, Visa, MasterCard, whatever.
The last table we were standing at, was the last example of the day, but there was
Yeah,
several
and Colin's
times.
got that right. Credit card, debit machine. Yeah, absolutely. Thank
Yeah.
you, Colin.
The last table we were standing at before we left for dinner is an example of this, but it was several other ones also where we had a friend that asked. It might have been Amanda actually, and that asked if they took cards. And then shortly after that, another person asked, and after that, I heard a third person ask, "No, we don't cash only, cash only, cash only." All three times, cash only, cash only, cash only. Several other times during the day, I heard that being said. I get it, I understand it, respect it. No, I don't have a problem with it. But it's to get keep the money out of the tax man's hands.
Yeah, but I'm saying there's also another consideration that is part of that deal. So even if they want to make it available, it's just there are less options. So it's like so they don't want to go that way. So it's one of those things you got to kind of play with it. Yeah, for the dealers out there, your sales go way up with this option. So for the credit card and debit machine, absolutely.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Oh God.
Same.
Oh my God. He is on a roll. He's on a tear tonight.
And then now you get to deal with them starting tomorrow. Live the dream. Yeah. So for David here, here's the thing. As a buyer, I don't really care. I don't even if you could to Venmo and Zelle, I'm not going to use it. Like I don't mind the cash. Like for me, it's not a thing. And again, now mind you, qualifying factor. A lot of the dealers who I have dealt with for a while, a lot of them will take those digital options for me. So I can like with Steve, I will do the e-transfer, and we have no problem doing that.
Yeah.
So we don't need to do cash necessarily. So that's not an issue. So that's why I say like there's a plus and a minus to it. For most of the dealers, I don't mind dealing in cash because in honesty, it simplifies it. I control exactly, and it also means I kind of control how quickly the money goes out. Making sure that you're kind of counting it, keeping tabs on your own inventory, and kind of doing it. So from that perspective, I don't mind it either. To each their own. But that's why I say like I don't know if it would be beneficial for a lot of them. And some people probably still wouldn't be comfortable using it that way because there can be some issues. So Zach's touching on that as well. Things like Zelle are sketchy as well. It's not always instant. I've seen a payment not drop till the next morning. That's why I say, like, any digital option, there's always the possibility of a delay, a network drop, little things that happen. Did it go through? Even consistency, like PayPal is pretty standard out there, but stuff happens. Payment doesn't quite go through the way you expect it to, even if you've got everything else situated the way you think, and no issue there. Like, well, I've never had an issue, but I've definitely heard of
Right.
plenty of issues. It happens.
And imagine you're a dealer. You accept, some digital, transfer like that. Person takes the card, walks away into that crowd of an expo or a national where there are thousands upon thousands upon thousands of people, and all of a sudden you find out that the money didn't, go through because of a glitch.
Yep.
That guy's gone. You're never seeing that person ever again. You didn't get, you have no, you got nothing. You got nothing. So it is something that you have to, be aware of and, pay very close attention to. But like when you're dealing with a dealer that you deal with all the time, or a friend, like Steve, and then
Yep.
if you took give him $500, and if he found out later it didn't go through, he just calls you and say, send it again. You go, okay.
Yeah, and that happens all the time. But again, we've known each other for longer than 20 years, so
Yeah.
we don't have to worry about that too much.
Right.
Look, just for a full disclosure, that patch card I showed you, I didn't pay Steve until overnight. I literally took the card with me. He gave me the card. I put it in my bag. I took it home. Well, took it to the hotel room,
Yeah.
and he got the payment overnight, and he got his notification, everything. I got the notification. It all went through. But you're not handing your card off to somebody and be like, yeah, pay me later, whenever. That, but again, we've known each other a long time. So if you have
Right.
that level of comfort, then it's not as big an issue. We've done enough transactions over the years, and we've known each other long enough. But that's not going to be your standard operating procedure. That's not going to be comfort level for most dealers and most people in there. They're going to want to make sure the payment went through before they leave the table,
Right.
ideally with the item. A caller here saying e-transfer is slower on Sundays because the banks are closed. Takes about 30 to 45 minutes to hit your account. And it can. And that's the electronic version, which, by the way, is as good as cash. E-transfer is as good as cash. It's very good for that. But again, your digital has delays sometimes. Technology can have issues. Stuff happens. Your Wi-Fi or your cell service, maybe that doesn't kick in right away. There's a little bit of a delay and it doesn't register right away. You're the dealer, so you've presumably gotten payment, but you can't see it yet. You let them walk off the table with it? Question mark?
It sure hell shouldn't.
Yeah, that's a tough one, right?
Yeah.
And that's with digital. Again, I like digital. I like technology, but digital's not perfect. There are
Right.
some limitations sometimes. There you go. PayPal only allows friends, Eric, and family because they know the truth.
Well, I have
Mm.
no friends, so it's not an option I need.
That's right. You got just the and family.
Yeah, I do have an and family, and they don't like me that much or trust me either. So
Tough times, man. Tough times. My goodness. Tough crowd. Sounds good. Let me just grab one more thing here. I think I already showed this stuff. Already did those cards. That's done. Did
hey,
that.
let me pop this. Let me pop this up real quick. I got this
Sure.
off Steve
Good.
today.
Go
I was very happy with the deal. I'm very happy with the
Explain that,
card.
and I'll come right back on the screen. Go ahead.
And this is Bobby Orr Auto from the Ultimate Collection. So it's a picture of him in his rookie year. So he's like 18 years old. Still has the buzz cut. And it's just a really good auto. And I like the way, they got the shimmer stuff that goes up here and kind of just makes the whole thing pop. So, yeah, there you go. Look at that. So, thanks Steve for giving me a good deal. And, it's one of the highlights of the day was pulling that one. And I put it on Instagram, and I wrote on Instagram, the truth is that, I have a buddy, a friend, working relationship, acquaintance, whatever you want to call it, over at Classic Auctions, Mark, who owns Classic Auctions, and they have a Bobby Orr game used jersey that's team signed, and it's covered in, stains of blood because, during this game that the jersey came from, or got his like mouth split open, and there was blood everywhere. So it's game worn, matched, the whole thing, and it's on Classic Auctions, but they have it here. And Mark let me, come behind and everything and get close to it and take pictures with it and all of that. And ever since then, I've just been in a Bobby Orr mood.
Wow.
And there's tons and tons and tons of stuff, and I have most of his cards. So seeing his cards everywhere, I don't need to buy them, but this just grabbed me, and I'm in that Bobby Orr mood, and this grabbed me, and I said, sure, I let me grab one, because listen, I don't need another Bobby Orr autograph. I have enough, but I don't know, being near the jersey, taking pictures with it, touching it, looking at the auto, stretching it out to see what the whole thing was really cool for me. So, I literally saw hundreds of different Bobby Orr cards with autographs on them. Same thing with Gretzky cards and everything. That's what you're going to find up here. But anytime I can support a buddy like Steve and really find something that I like, it's a win-win. So,
Well, I think that wasn't the only time during this expo that a jersey inspired you. There was at least one other jersey that inspired feelings in you.
that is you.
I'll
Yeah.
share that image better. I'll share that image better in a
Yeah.
recap after. But just to keep it simple, right now we're
Yeah.
kind of low tech, low fi here.
Yeah.
But you get the gist. You get the point.
Yeah, and that's the middle finger. That's not a thumbs up. That is a middle finger to Tom Baby. I don't think it's a gamer. I think it's just a Dick's Sporting Goods.
No, I think it's just an
jersey.
autograph jersey. Just an autograph jersey.
But it's an autograph jersey, professionally framed. Worth thousands. And I just wanted to quickly make my feelings known when I saw it. So
You showed him. You showed that inanimate object.
I did.
Carlo was saying, "Where's Bobby?" So Bobby was actually at dinner with us, but
Yep.
Bobby lives. So what happens is, I've talked about this before I've talked about it before in the channel, but where the expo is, it's effectively in my backyard. But when I'm saying it's in my backyard, is that in the city, the expo is in one corner, and I'm at the completely far end, opposite end of the corner, as far as physically away as possible from the expo, while still being inside city limits. So we're still inside the same city, me and the expo, but on the highway, it basically takes about 45 minutes each way. So it's one of those things. It's not very practical for me to commute back and forth every single day. I used to do that when I attended 1 or 2 days, but when I decided to make it a thing regularly to attend more than a couple of days, I'd be like, well, I could just make a vacation out of it. I could just get a hotel, get a comfortable space. Like this actually has a comfortable space back here. A little living room area with a nice couch that basically surrounds and looks right at the television, so I can be watching the games and stuff, which I did last night. I was actually watching the Thursday night football game while I was doing some stuff on the internet. It was actually good. It's very nice, but the upside of it also is that means that we go have dinner. I don't have to rush out. I don't need to go hit the road right away. So where Bobby is though, he is closer. I don't remember exactly how far. He's not too far away, but it's one of those things where he goes basically home and sleeps in his own bed and then pops into the show the next day. So it's one of those things where everybody had the link, but at the same time, he could just be winding down, putting his stuff away, putting it in the garage and all. So so he's around. I've seen Bobby both days, and I expect to see him tomorrow.
Yeah.
And he was at dinner, and it was a lot of fun. We had a good time.
Absolutely.
Jeff says, "This is a nice card, Eric." There you go. Happy Expo. Happy Expo to you too, Doug. Appreciate it.
Back up one to
Jeff.
To Jeff. Hold on.
Yep. Sure. Go ahead. Eric will have to carry the show and tell because like I said, I ended up picking up 3 cards. I actually got 1 card in the mail that I opened up. I'll do that as part of the video. And Paul was nice enough to give me a couple of cards. Eric actually did give me a card, a not swell fella card.
Yeah. Not so swell. Not such a swell fella on that one, yeah.
Yep. But for the most part, like I said, pickups have been very limited. They've been very specific. Go ahead.
So I bought something else that the price was super low. I don't need another one of these. but I'm a little bit addicted to them. So I grabbed it because the price was so ridiculously low. I had to get another one. So another Gordie Howe, Mr. Hockey, number 9, Detroit Red Wings puck. Add to the collection. So I did get a Red Wings item.
There you go. There you go. Thematically appropriate.
Yeah.
Hobby Champ saying, does Eric take his personal jet in and out once a day? Yes. He occasionally uses the jet to go get lunch. Seems
Well,
excessive, but he's into it. I guess that's what he wants to do.
well, it's because I like French cuisine, so I go to Paris.
Hmm. It is true. It is a fact. But yeah, for the most part, I think
You guys knew how poor I am. You you'd think it was funny.
Eric, I know for a fact, I only know one person in this hobby with a 77, 78 OPG Bobby Orr from KSA 6.
Oh yeah,
A Grail of Grails, like literally the icon of the hobby. I only know one person.
and that's one too many.
So beautiful.
I heard
Such.
I heard these are tough to crack out.
Oh, what's
Just
the worst that could happen?
I'm just saying that's what I heard. I don't know. Heard things.
That'll be a story. That'll be a story that I want told, but it's not our place to tell it.
Yeah, yeah, I know, right? I'm just
I'll
saying.
I'll leave it to them.
Just saying.
If there's violence invoked, though, I'll know why it happened.
Yeah,
That'll be a
right.
lot of fun.
Oh
Jeff
God.
says can never have enough Gordiatos. Yes. So let me ask you this question because I think I can give one or two, and we'll start with slowly winding her down. If you guys
Yeah.
have any other
I gotta
questions,
go to
please
bed
ask.
soon.
Yeah. If you got a couple of questions, please ask them. Don't hesitate because now's the time. But I'll give one or two quick stories expo wise. But is there anything like story wise, anything you encountered or anything, an interaction or something strange that maybe caught your eye, whether it was you or somebody else that maybe you want to share? I've got one or two that I might be able to offer, but is there anything that you'd like to share?
Um, Watching Bobby work
Mhm.
is interesting. Spent a lot of time with him yesterday. I don't think I spent any time with him today. I think I saw him once when I first arrived, and then I didn't see him again till dinner. Yesterday, I spent the majority of the day chasing him around, following him around, table to table, and this guy is just making deals. He's bundling. He's trading. He's educating and talking people down. And I mean, just to watch this guy work, and he knows by walking by a table, something catches his eye, stops dead, turns around, goes over. How much do you want for that? Okay, well, that was made in 1974, and this is that, and this is it, and it's really only worth this. So I'll give you this for it. That stuff. And then there's the how much do you want for that? And the person's like $10. And okay, fine, here's $10. We walk away, he goes, that thing's worth $250 all day on my Facebook group. And it's just I'm just shaking my head going, you're the man. That's why you got 3 books and some appetizers.
There you go. Exactly. Now, one
It's just
thing. Okay.
crazy.
Now it's always kind of entertaining to me to kind of check out, and we'll when we get a chance to talk to him more, and we'll do. Obviously, we're doing this during Expo Week here, but we'll do next week. We'll definitely we'll incorporate Bobby and maybe Yannick and the others can add some stuff to there and add their story because they've definitely got their own individual tales and things they picked up. But one of the things that struck me, like playing into the theme of what I already talked about, is how many of these dealers who set up the show and bring a lot of inventory can be really nice inventory, but it's just clueless at even the basic card negotiation. The one card I gave an example of, he wasn't a young guy. This is a dealer who's been around the block. Like I've seen his table over the years. And he's not a newbie, but even
Right.
guys who presumably have some experience, they'll still fall under these very basic negotiation 101. Like you're trying to get too cute. Keep it simple. It's straightforward. What do you want to get out of it? What are you trying to accomplish here? You presumably know what you got into it. So like, basically as a consumer, I'm like, just give me something I can work with and I'll either tell you yes or no. Don't let's not beat around the bush. Let's not waste time. But it was fun watching how many of these folks lose deals or completely break potential opportunities just because they can't learn this one basic thing. They just have to get cute, try to get real clever. And it's just tough to see. It's very strange.
Yeah. I'm just all about, and again, I don't sell, I don't have a table, right? But in my mind, I never understood why you want to bring this stuff home. Now, you don't want to lose money. That's bad business. So I understand that. And you can't break even because that's also bad business. You have to make money. That's the business. I'm all for that. But why do you want to put this stuff back in your car? It just doesn't make any sense. Just price it to move, put money in your pocket, go home with an empty car. And some of these guys, after just a day and a half of walking by their tables, listening to conversations, being at their tables, talking to them, these guys, looking at their price tags on stuff, these guys are going to be filling up their cars.
I would expect so. Yeah.
And it doesn't make any sense to me. Because some guys have their stuff so highly priced. I mean, some things are expensive. That's just the way life is. Some things are going to be $20,000. Some things are going to be $5,000. Some things are going to be $500. But don't tell me that $100 card is $250. It's like you're crazy, and you're going to be packing that up and bringing it home with you. So good luck. Don't give me that you paid $300 for it during the pandemic. That's like 4 years ago now. I don't care.
Well, I would just extend that out to your cost, your concern, how you arrive to it is none of that is my concern.
Right.
If you would like to sell it, my concern is what do you want for it now? What do you
Yeah.
actually think you can get for it now? And can we actually do a deal for now?
Yeah.
Not years ago, not whatever it was. But we've all made mistakes. We've all gotten a couple ones wrong. It happens.
Right.
So
Yeah.
to move on with your day, and don't leave it sitting in the showcase forever. That's not going to work. One other thing I was going to throw in there, just kind of in the same vein. Again, it's been interesting going through, checking out. You got new school dealers and old school dealers. This is something that I will expand on. Because I haven't done the big promotion thing. I haven't done the whole AMG plug tonight because it's an impromptu, so we're not going to ram that down your throat. But I will suggest to you, I did put a link in the description for folks that check this out on replay. Check out the AMG podcast next week. So when we do the regular podcast, it'll be out there. And maybe we'll talk about it on the live too. But if you check out the channel and go there, there was one deal that was done at the AMG booth for a really big card. And Sherry actually apparently got footage of this. So I actually saw that she had dropped it off in a Dropbox that we have. So I'm going to take a look at it. And if I get the chance, I'm going to put something together for that channel. But then we're also going to talk about it because I want to get Steve to actually, who did the deal. I actually want him to go in and actually be able to give you a deal that he actually was able to, a pretty solid deal. And what was good about it, and I liked it, was that we talk about a million times that the vlogs and the influencers and all that kind of give people this false sense that these 5 and 6 figure deals are happening every 5 minutes. Realistically, that's not true. Most people are buying stuff they're going into the value box, grabbing some cards and picking up things. That's 95% of the transactions, realistically.
Right.
Are there more expensive cards? Absolutely, 100%. And are those deals being done? Yeah, no doubt. Absolutely. Like I said, even a couple of these cards here that I bought, if you add them up in the aggregate, it's a couple $100 overall if I add everything up. But it's not $1,000 for one card or $5,000 for one card, but in the aggregate. But this was a good, solid 5-figure deal, a real one in terms of cash and trade and a whole combination of it. And I think it would be enjoyable to get Steve to do a little breakdown of kind of what went back this way. And what was cool about it, and I'll share this with you and I'll repeat it then, is that I found out about it initially because I knew the card was in the showcase. But the reason I found out about it is I was actually looking over in the news section and I actually saw the card on another dealer's table. And when I saw it, I was like, wait, show me that. And I took a closer look. And it was the same card that was on the other showcase. Like, did you get that at the AMG booth? And he goes, yeah, I did a deal with it. And then Sherry sent me a text message within a minute, just letting me know that they had sold the card. They had done a deal for it. and then she'd cut the footage. The timing could not have been more perfect. It was just
Yeah.
hilarious that I happened to come upon the card at another table in the other part of the room that had been at the AMG booth. And I was like, nice.
Nice. Exactly.
So that'll be a little fun bonus. And again, being able to get Steve do a little breakdown of kind of how that whole thing went down for him from his perspective of it will be fun. So if you are interested, you can check it out. So I think that'll be a good one for you. So good stuff. So there you go, Ray, just talking to Tim. You guys do go for it. So like I said, we're going to wind her down on this. It's a little over an hour, so that's pretty good. And I don't know if I assume they're still on. So if any of you guys are interested and still want to watch some stuff, I think the Hockey Cards Gone. We joke about the Hockey Cards Gone show, but I think they're doing a rip party. I think they're opening up a bunch of boxes and doing giveaways and stuff. So if you're interested, you can probably check that out. So that is live from the Expo as well, but they're obviously doing something related to the Expo. And I know that, and I know for a fact, I'm pretty sure a few folks we know may have donated some boxes to that. I got to double check and confirm that it got there, but I'm pretty sure they were at least offered. So I think they received a couple of it, but nonetheless, so there is some more content coming from the Expo. And I'll record a video doing some of these, showing them a little bit better, but then also do a little recap. And if anything else comes to mind, I will do it in a recap episode tomorrow. So I'll do one tonight, and then probably I'll do a recap episode after day 3, technically. And if anything else, I've still got some cash, so I'm going to try to make a deal. But I just got to say, I need some of these guys to get off these sticker prices, though. So y'all need to seriously take a look at yourselves and like, don't be ridiculous. I'm willing to make an offer. I'm willing to make a deal. But right now, my biggest deals this weekend have been at Comsy and on eBay. So real quick, I will share the eBay one. So since I've got the one queued up, Eric, I'll share the eBay one. I did make a purchase today on eBay. And it's actually a fun card. So I do like this one. So let me see here if I can share. It sucks when I only got one screen. It's a little annoying, but I think I can still share the screen here. So this is the window here that I have. And this was the card I ended up making an offer for, and I ended up picking it up.
That thing's nice.
Yeah. So this one's actually from the Jamie Benn rookie year. This is 910, the cup, honorable numbers. And that is number to 9, and it's patch autograph of Medano. So it was my best Medano card this weekend has been on eBay. So I was able to make an offer, and it was accepted, and we were able to come to a deal. And my inspiration was a dealer that there wasn't willing to negotiate when I had the cash in my hand. And all right, you know what? The funds that would have gone to this have now gone to pay for that card.
There you go.
So like I said, to the dealers, like, don't try to get too cute. Try to like think about this a little bit. But nonetheless, thank you, Hobby Champs. Thank you, Jeff. So hopefully this gave you guys a little bit of insight in terms of some of it, just from our perspective. So we've got that going from us. So I think that'll be a little bit of fun. But nonetheless, we'll see how the last day go. We'll see how the last couple of days go. I'll be there on Sunday as well. I got to reach out to a couple of folks because a couple of folks I think are coming on Saturday. Saturday is a good day because a lot of folks I think are, but I think that's the day I'm going to try to get some footage and stuff from the show. So we're going to try. We'll see how it goes. All right. So real quick, let me grab a couple. Oh, here we go. Just in time. Just in nick of time.
Oh,
Josh. Right now, you know what that means because I'm Carlos is live. Do it for the people, Eric. One more time before we sign her out.
First, very disappointed that he is not here. I actually have something to give him, which now I'm just going to flush down the toilet. I don't know if you can flush cards down the toilet, but I'm going to attempt it. And all I have to say to him is, shut up, Josh.
Wow. Amazing. And there's Ham.
Ham, your name is mentioned about 4 times today, if I remember correctly, all having to do with my wife, and I don't like it.
This is terrible. This is terrible. The jokes. So Ham, in spirit, the jokes were here, and you were invoked for the jokes. So we got that going. Let's see, I'm just scanning here. Okay, I'll read this one real quick. I don't mind paying above comps and rare cards in SSP because that's how they don't. It's not a race to the bottom. That's the way it's supposed to be. But regular stuff, no way. Fair enough. Oh, here we go. Possibility for showing up on Sunday. Depends on how my son does tomorrow. Well, if you do manage to pop in, reach out and let us know. Let us know, that way we can at least, because I'll be there for a little bit on Sunday, but it'll be easier if you let us know in advance.
Well, I got to pull the card out of the toilet if you're coming.
Yeah, there you go. I'll tell you said hello. Well, you're gonna have to get over here. You're gonna have to get over here. Something for you as well. There you go. Gift exchange. Oh my God.
Yeah. How exciting.
Hey, listen, I don't know. Like it's tough to match at this point. I feel like you've peaked on excitement. With the you can put the Blackhawks Bobby Orr beside you in the
Yeah.
evening. You can sleep with it. I think that's very exciting. Listen, I expect a place of honor. You show some respect to Bobby
Oh,
Orr. Look,
I
I
will
know
be
your hatred
taking.
of Bobby Orr runs deep. I know you
I
hate
will
the
be
man, but
taking.
I need you to show some respect.
I will be taking pictures of it in places of honor, and I will then send them to you that you can share
Mhm.
with the show.
Listen, I expect you to at least treat that Bobby Orr card with the respect and reverence that you treat that fake hockey player that doesn't exist with 18 syllables. At least that much respect. Minimum.
Minimum. Okay.
All right. So thanks everybody for joining it. It was impromptu, but I did promise that I would try. I did promise that I would try to do a live stream during the thing, even if the hotel Wi-Fi is fighting against me actively, apparently.
Hey, honey, do you want to say goodnight to Ham?
Night, Ham.
You hear that?
I could hear it, so I don't know.
I don't like the way she said that.
See, so Eric, I'm going to remind you again. If everyone, including your wife, including your family,
Yeah.
including your mom,
Yeah.
at a certain point, is it not just you?
I told you it's something I need to look into.
Well, if it makes you guys feel any better, we're going to sign off. We're going to call it a night. Eric's going to try to get to bed because he's got a whole bunch of hockey players he needs to harass and chase down. So he's got that on his agenda. I don't
That's
have any
true.
reason to be there before the crack of noon, so I won't be. And I've still got more beer that I can drink, and that's exactly what I'm going to do. Because
I'm
I
going
can.
to bed because I'm old and I'm tired.
There you go. See, Ham appreciates it, and he heard it.
He says, "Night, honey." She's now waving like this, like he can see her.
See?
Oh my God, this is getting sick.
Listen, you brought this on yourself, man. All right, Bob Jackson gets the last word. Have fun at the show. Watch your knees tomorrow morning, Eric. Thank you, Bob.
Oh, good God.
They're all
Good
looking
night,
out
Bob.
for you. They're all looking out for you. And
Yeah.
again, after I was so nice to you.
So nice.
Yes. There you go. There's a CM Punk reference. I like that. All right, Bob Jackson. Thank you, everybody. Appreciate it. Hit the like button on the way out. We're going to charge Eric for it. We've already agreed on the conversion rate. In fact, because Eric is here in honor of him, I'm charging him the like button in American funds. That way he doesn't have to do the conversion. He won't get confused.
I don't
Straight
like
up
the
American
maths.
funds. I'm
I don't
charging.
like the
I'm
maths.
charging full price. Hit the like
Yeah.
button on the way out and we'll get you. So hopefully you enjoy, and there'll be a couple of videos coming up related to the show itself and anything that we pick up, and we'll chat more about it next week, because once we get a chance to actually get in our regular spaces again, we'll be able to show off some of that stuff a little bit better. But for now, let's at least give you a little bit of a lay of the land of what we've been up to, and we'll see. We'll see if I can wrangle the Burrell in the garage of knowledge and everything else next week, and we'll all get caught up.
Oh, he's got some stuff, man.
Yeah, I think once we get back in the normal setup, I think it'll be a lot easier to go
Yeah.
through a lot of the stuff and show it properly, and we'll be able to talk through it. And then also maybe we'll see if Yannick wants to come in and also give, because obviously he was doing his stuff. Because Yannick was there as well, and Paul has been there, and a lot of us were able to do our own things individually, and then we'll see what everybody managed to pick up as far as the show itself. So anyway, that's it for us this time around. Have yourselves a good evening. It is still Friday on the East Coast and the West Coast. So enjoy the rest of your weekend, and we'll catch you in the next one.
Thanks, everybody.